if I saw another day, only to scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, taking off without the same mistake. Darling, when you go away, it won't be as simple for you.
Yo, guys, it's Old Man G here, back again. I know it's a bit late for the match reaction for the Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest game. Thanks to everyone who's tuning in, who's watching on YouTube, but also Facebook as well. Remember, guys, if you are new to the channel, to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, United X, and smash that notification but for latest Manchester news and more. So let's get into it. Like I said, apologies for delayed match reaction. I've been busy, but as you can see, Fernandes United comeback, Manchester United 3, Nottingham Forest 2, in a game that, I mean, what can you say? It's the, I don't want to say it's the United of old, because like we've seen this from United before. We saw it last season. We even saw it under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well, where you have this, you know, comeback mentality from Manchester United, whereby, you know, and if anyone who's follows me on Twitter, so I was fuming. I think up until probably the equalizer, I was fuming because somehow, some way, Manchester United go 2-0 down in 5 minutes at Old Trafford. That for me is just unacceptable. It's unacceptable that Manchester United go 2-0 down. In 5 minutes, guys, 2-0 down in 5 minutes at Old Trafford. It's unacceptable. Like, I don't get it. Like, it's and the thing is, and the manner of the goals, the first goal, the second goal, okay. If it was, I think it was more painful because we conceded it in return. But Nottingham Forest got their game plan. They started out like they were a lot more sharper than we were. And again, this is a pattern with Manchester United. I'm going to get to the positive. I'm going to build it. I want to start with negatives first, but they were a lot more for the game than we were. Let's just keep it a stack. They were. And the first goal, we have a corner. It's a set piece, and we get done on our set piece. That makes no sense. We get done on our set piece. And now you have Rashford and Anthony trying to get back. And then Taiwo, you know, like sits down on Onana. I don't know why people are blaming Onana for it. I mean, he's literally through on goal. There's nothing that we can do. It is what it is. For me, that's game. That's it. I don't really know what people are complaining about with Onana. He can't do anything about it. And basically, it's 1-0 to Nottingham Forest. Then the second goal, it's a set piece to them, and I don't know why people are marking who they're supposed to be marking. You know, I don't get it. And we're 2-0 down. Bowley, you know, ex-Wolves player. And at this point, you're like, right, okay. I'm just saying everything. I'm not saying 10 out from that. I'm not that reactionary or anything like that. But I am thinking, what the hell is going on with this team? This is why we need signings. This is why we need, and I still think, as I'll end of this day, that we do still need signings. Manchester United still need a lot of signings. We need at least 5, frankly. A goalkeeper, because we need backup. And it looks like, you know, according to Fabrizio, that is happening. A left back, a midfielder, a centre back, and a striker. And I don't think we're going to get all of those done in the entrance window. So because we are threadbare. When you look at the bench for the impact, but we got the goal back. Obviously, Christian Eriksen, 17th minute. Suddenly after 2-0, we kind of after the 2 goals, Nottingham Forest just kept countering us and countering us and countering us. They just kept on counter-attacking us. And then I think that after about 15 minutes, we started to settle in the game a little bit. Don't worry, guys. I'll come to comments in a second. And for those who want to come on, I'll post a link. But yeah, we settled down a bit. We came to the game. We started to get a bit of control. And obviously, thank goodness, Rashford had that bit of quality and Eriksen gets a goal and it's 2-1. And then you're thinking, okay, because there is always a danger when you score too early, because they scored under 2 goals in under 5 minutes. You still got 90 plus minutes to play, or effectively, 85 plus minutes to play with extra time, which was, I think, like 11 minutes. So basically, they still had to play 96 minutes of football. But we do, in fairness, and I want to be connected here because there was a lot of emotions in this game, and I was very, very frustrated. But when I look back, yes, we did concede 2 goals. Yes, Nottingham Forest were dangerous for counting us. But in fairness, after we got the first goal, United's performance did actually improve. It did actually get better. And you could tell that United, especially in the second half, when we sort of came out, and presumably Ten Hag gave them all a bollocking and was like, guys, come on, you need to be better than this. You need to be better. And when he did that, you saw a comeback from these guys. Obviously, Casemiro gets the goal. He had a great chance in the first half that he should have put away. It was literally a few yards out from goal. I'm not entirely sure how he missed it in the first half, but that should have been 2-2 in the first half. But he makes no mistake in the second half. We equalize. And then obviously contrary. Now in fairness, and people might disagree with me or not, I don't think it was a red card. Personally, I actually think that, and I can be objective here. Yes, he contacts him, but I still think that I don't know who the other defender was, but I think he still could. I think he still had time to cover. VAR didn't overturn it, so fair enough. But for me, that was a harsh red card. If it was, let's put it another way, if it was given against Manchester United, I would be annoyed. I'd be annoyed if that red card was given against us. In my personal opinion, I would be annoyed. And then of course we get the penalty. There is contact there. It is what it is. Bruno gets the goal. We move. And we see out the game. We get the 3 points. Now, I would probably, I am critical of the performance because, again, our midfield is still too exposed. We're still giving too many opportunities, and we are vulnerable. And I'm worried about our trip to the Emirates because I think Arsenal could punish us badly if we continue playing the way we're playing. However, I also think it's important that we get the 3 points. And people might say the 3 points aren't important, but at the end of the day, especially when I look at the other results, when I look at we can look at Arsenal dropping points to Fulham, and they were playing against 10 men after a while. When I look at Brighton, who I thought, are going to be almost invincible this season to Serbi, and there you see them, they lose to West Ham 3-1, which, by the way, shows you the importance of having a good number 9. Because I saw Antonio there, good hold-up play, good finishing, building defenders. That's the type of striker that Manchester United need. If there's anything watching West Ham and City is the importance of having a good number 9. And so I hope that Højlund comes in and maybe bulks up a little bit, because a good number 9 coming underestimate. And in fairness to Martial, we did play better. Once again, as we said, if he's fit, you play Martial as number 9 and Rashford off the left, because we are better that way. We are better that way. We are better when we play number 9 and Rashford isn't trying to be a number 9. We do play better, But yeah, at the end of the day, like I said, was the performance great overall? No, it could have been a lot better, but we got the 3 points. And at the end of the day, in a weird way, we've got 6 points from 3 games. That's actually better than where we were, I think, last season. Weirdly, I mean, if I look at, let me just look at the table. Not that it means anything right now. So, but if we look at the table here, United is 6th. Like I said, it doesn't mean anything because there's still teams to play. Liverpool got to play. Liverpool playing Newcastle tomorrow, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But at the end of the day, it's still too early to be reactionary and say Ten Hag out, we're not going to, etc., etc. You know, we need to see more games from the team first, and I think next week again away the Emirates is going to be the test. If we get, I don't expect us to win because it's away. We always struggle away at Arsenal. But if we get spanked badly, and then of course you've got Brighton at home, and you get spanked back to back, then I will start to be very concerned. But if we can get, even if we can get 3 points from these two games, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. That's what I think. But overall, even though I was frustrated, even though I was angry about the nature of how we played before, I got to say that I'm happy we got the result, and I'm happy that at least there's still a comeback mentality in this team. But you know, let me know what you think. Obviously, I put a poll on to see who you think the man of the match was. Seems so far a lot of people are saying Bruno so far, so fair enough. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. Remember to like the video if you're new, like the video and subscribe. Hello, not Awan Basaka. I think Awan Basaka was fine. Manchester United are disgraced. Forest really. But Samasi, didn't you? But I mean, that's true. But I mean, Forest gave Arsenal the game. Forest aren't a bad. Whatever you say, that Forest aren't a bad side. For any sense of imagination, they're not a bad side. Especially considering how much money they spent. They're not a bad side. If it was Bournemouth, or Luton, then I'd be a lot more concerned. Do not like Rashford kicking the ball out to play, complaining. Big T says we were handed the win. We did not go and get it. I think we went and I think it's what I'm saying is that like we shouldn't let the fact that we conceded 2 goals in 5 minutes cloud the judgment. I mean, let's look at the match stats actually. Let's click because maybe that will give a bit more. So look at the stats here: 18 shots by Manchester United to Forest 9. 9 shots on target to United, 4. 67% possession, 33% possession. And then obviously fouls, corners, 11 corners, 3 corners. Now, I know football isn't all about stats, but at the end of the day, like, I do think that when we got over the fact that we started terribly, that we actually did play okay eventually. I just wish that we could play okay and be switched on for longer than that. But I think it wasn't like Wolves, for example. Like to put it in perspective, I think that we played better against Forest than we did against Wolves, despite the fact that Wolves, I believe, never really threatened United in front of goal like Forest did. Forest had more threats in front of goal, no doubt about it. Wolves, they had much more control over us, created far more chances, but they just didn't have the finisher. Although, shout out to Wolves, they won today and beat Everton. But there you go. Sad to hear that Varane got a knock. I hope he'll be back for Arsenal. It's a worry, man. It's a worry. I mean, I don't know who comes in. Luke Shaw's obviously out, so you can't do the whole left-sided centre-back thing. So you have to bring in Lindelof, I'd imagine. So it'll be Lindelof and Lisandro, and you hope that will be enough. That's the hope. Will Lindelof and Lisandro Martinez be enough? You hope so. You hope so. Nigerian strikers are on fire. It's looking good. That's true. How many first team signings do you want? I mean, there's one and there's realism. We need another midfielder. If we're talking first team, if we're talking squad, we need like 5. If we're talking first team, we definitely need another midfielder. And to be honest, I think we need another striker as well. I generally worry that people, because we spent a lot of money on Højlund, I generally worry that we think that we're going to rely on that Højlund's just going to come in and score 20 plus goals and solve all our problems. I don't think that's the case, So, and Martial, as we know, is injury prone, So for me, a midfielder and a striker for me would be that the first team was like a senior striker or whatever to come in and adjust and help Højlund kind of adjust, because we don't know what Højlund's going to do yet. He might be an absolute flop. Hopefully, he's not. He might take time to adapt, or he might I don't know. So, but yeah, midfielder and striker for me are the two, in my opinion. 90% that would do a bit well. We need to sell. Apparently, we're not a team. We are relying on individuals, and that's individuals that have have not been enough for previous seasons. I mean, that's been the case for United for a while though now, isn't it? It's been a while. Cucurella, really? I mean, relax. Not getting Cucurella. It doesn't matter. Like, just alone, I don't mind, bro. This is the thing, guys. I'm shameless right now because we need players. Because we've already got we've got 7 injuries, and it's 2 games into the season. Okay, so I don't care. We get players because as soon as Champions League starts, as soon as Carabao Cup starts, as soon as we start having 3 games a season, we're going to pick up more injuries. So for me, if it means getting players on loan, I've said, okay, fine, we could take Cucurella, loan him till January. By then, Luke Shaw and Barsi, whatever, will be back. Fine. Lukaku's saying, I'm actually happy with taking Lukaku on loan. He's a striker. He's fine. If he's happy to alternate on the bench, no problem. I'm generally at the point where I'm like, because I just right now I do not see this squad being ready to compete in 4 competitions. The depth is still not there, or we're relying on or hoping that the players that we have brought in are eventually going to click and work. And I don't know. I think that's a risk there. Shocking, we've conceded so early. Learned nothing from the FA Cup final. Well, it's a problem. RSV is the first 2 goals was all on defense and Rashford not tracking back. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, how do we? I mean, they countered us from a set piece. They countered us from our own set piece. So for me, that's not acceptable. Yes, to the corner, but again, we've said this several times. For me, is that and the thing is, this is one of the encouraging things I would say is that despite the fact we conceded 2 goals, we still scored 3. That for me is encouraging because I was actually worried that Manchester United couldn't even score more than 3 goals. I can't remember the last time United actually scored more than 3 goals. I think the last time, well, I say that we scored more than 3 goals against Chelsea at home. But what was that last season? But I don't know whether that's saying anything. But the fact that we're able to score the 3 goals gives me more confidence because, in fairness to defense, we got top 4 last season because of our defense and Rashford's goal streak to a certain extent. It wasn't going to be like this season, especially with the new goalkeeper and the dynamics and different changes in the dressing room. It was going to be different. So it's about time that we start expecting our midfield and our forwards to basically step up instead of constantly relying on our back 5 to see us out of games. 30 plus minutes against 10 men and produce nothing. Yeah, but that's difficult because I hear you, but at the same time, sometimes playing against, we saw it against what? Chelsea? Chelsea played West Ham against down to 10 men, and West Ham scored and they lost. Even today, Fulham, Arsenal were playing against 10 men for more than 20, 25 minutes, I think. And Fulham scored and they dropped points. So I don't necessarily think playing against 10 men is sometimes it's harder because the team will then be compact, and especially with Forest, that they were basically built in this game to counterattack. If anything, it suited them because they're like, we're going to send deep. You break us down. You try and get into us. But as soon as you make a mistake, we're going to pounce and counterattack on you. And they had the players to do that, especially when Elanga came on, Did United improve or did Forest not know what to do with a 2-0 lead? I think we improved. I think we settled because, like I said, Forest were always dangerous on the counterattack. They were always dangerous on the counterattack. They could have, and they were going for the goals. So I don't think it was like they were like, we're going to sit on 2-0 and wait and see. No, I just think that we start to get a bit more control. And probably Ten Hag gave them a bollocking in the dressing room. As long as it was the midfield, why we conceded two early goals? No, I don't think it is. I don't think it's the midfield. It's just what I'm saying is I'm saying is that we can't. It's more about the fact that we can't. Our defense last season and even I guess against Wolves and so on is the reason why we got where we were. But we can't keep on relying on our back 5 to see us out of games. Our midfield and our attack have to step up is basically what I'm saying. Especially now that Onana is there, so the dynamic of the back 5 is different. It's a different dynamic, something that's going to sort of take time. And I knew that was going to be the case when you get a new goalkeeper. It's going to be difficult. But we'll see. Like I said, I don't blame the midfield or the attackers today, and I'm happy that the attackers actually came in and actually scored 3 goals, because sometimes we need that. Henderson is on a medical at Sheffield United. Is it Sheffield or Crystal Palace? I thought it was Crystal Palace. Is it not? I thought it was Crystal Palace. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe someone correct me, because I'm fairly sure it was Crystal Palace that Dean Henderson into, not Sheffield United. But I could be wrong. Let me know. And Amrabat is coming, but I won't direct again. That dude put on a solid work today, and can go 90 minutes. His legs are not done yet. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that the midfield with, like I said, Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno is more balanced. Do I think that we can use that against Arsenal? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Away from home, I don't know. Can McTominay come in some way? I don't know. I still think that if we play that midfield against Arsenal, the Emirates, I think we might have problems. But we'll see what happens. Forest were in shock. They were 2-up and did not know what to do with it. I don't know. These people keep on saying this. I don't know. I don't think so. When they were 2-0, 1-2, they certainly for that brief 5 minutes up until we scored. So for about what the last up till 15 minutes, they kept on countering us. We were shook. We didn't know how to respond. We were like, what's going on? So we were misplacing passes and doing different things. But then as soon as we scored the goal, it was like, right, okay, calm down. Let's try and get some control over the game, get some possession, etc. So that's kind of what I mean by control. Like before the first 50 minutes, we were all over the place. We just didn't know how to respond. United were first half better in the second attack. Well, the attack did save us. There's no way that it was a red card or pen for me. Huge performances from VAR. Yeah, I agree with the red card. The penalty, I think it's difficult, the penalty, because I think there is contact. And given what I saw last weekend with the precedence of a penalty, that's why I was kind of like, whatever. But I agree with you on the red card. I think the red card was harsh, because I think the defender does have time to cover it. It's a yellow, but not a red card. But yeah, the penalty I've seen. I think was it the Liverpool one? There was one I seen. I think it was Liverpool one, or that where I'm just like, that's not. There's no contact there at all, or there's minimal contact where they get it. So I don't know what the precedent is for penalties anymore. I don't even question it anymore. Same thing with handball. I don't know what handball is. Apparently, if your hand is up this way, it's fine. So yeah. So I don't think United players are internally not to understand telling system, although they improved in the second half. Yeah, I don't think they are. Shots were pulled down. It was unbouncing. So pulled down. It was unbouncing contact. But yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, it was a foul, but yeah, that's the thing. I think that he would have covered, but it is what it is. Forget the shopping list. 10 Hag's decisions with the players we do have are questionable. Yes, I agree, but I mean, how many times are we going to say that about managers that come in? You know what I mean? So like, how many times are we going to say that about different managers that come into Manchester United? And also, these managers often seem to not have the issue before they come to Manchester United. That's the thing that I will say. I'm not saying Ten Hag is perfect. There's obviously has decisions, he has issues, but at the same time, I recognize the fact that we're just that Chelsea spent have they spent like 500 million this year, 600, etc., getting multiple players, scouting, etc., so that yes, if they get an injury, okay, Badashil and Nkunku got injured and they got in replacements. They got injured, they got replacements. Yeah, boom. We now have we have 7 injuries to key players on the squad, and we're like, well, you know what? It's fine. And it'll be a much more of an issue when Champions League and the rest start. Speaking of which, Champions League watch along. Stay tuned for that. Second half, Martial went left and Rashford central. Yeah, I know, no. Although I did think that they alternated sometimes. Although Martial came off, and when did Martial come off? I think did Martial come off after 60 minutes? I think he didn't play the obviously the full 90. I think so, but still, like we play better when Martial's in the team. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Big up Red Devil. Shout out to Eddie's man. Make sure you go and subscribe to his channel. Big up Red Devil and all in chat. 3 points, but United have to start better. Well, I do think United will improve Højlund and Amrabat. Well, again, we'll see. I don't want to put this, but this is what I'm saying is it's like, this is why preseason is good, because at the end of the day, I don't want to put pressure on Højlund. Is still only 20 years old, and we're putting pressure on him to try and do something, and he's not. He just started first team training last week, so if he now flops in his first game, then people are going to tear him apart. So this is what I'm saying is this, like, that's why I think we need to sign a senior striker, because we're putting a lot of pressure on a guy to G. We have no idea whether Martial is going to be fit again, so we're going to be relying on this dude to G up to score goals. And what happens if he doesn't? You don't want his confidence to be knocked as well. Given that he's still a development signing. So I think that's important. Casemiro and Eriksen are so mature. Attackers, you get the benefit of the doubt. If there's a chance Bruno could have got there, you have to say it's goal scoring opportunity. Yeah, okay. Couldn't give Ten Hag until May or June. Oh, come on, like relax. Like we can't be in the because, well, quite frankly, like they aren't even any other options. Like there aren't even any options. There really aren't. United's defense was invincible for the 2 goals. Mega says, I'm worried we might get embarrassed in Champions League. Wolves and Forest are relegation candidates and we struggled. Yeah, I'm concerned about that as well. But then it's difficult sometimes to actually, when you make the matchups. And also it depends on who we get in the groups as well. So I don't know, because, if to be fair to Manchester United, we're not the only team on Europe that's struggling. Bayern, okay, fine. Bayern with Kane look a bit better. But PSG, Barca, I don't think you've seen a team aside from Manchester City, to be honest. A lot of teams are not like 100%. So you never know. We'll see what happens. Do this Liverpool Man City side? Yeah, they will. We need to improve, man. We need to improve. But obviously with Varane out, Lindelof comes in, which may or may not work. Luke Shaw obviously comes as left-sided centre back with Lisandro, but he's injured. So we basically just imagine if Lindelof gets injured or gets a red card, it means that Harry Maguire has to play. I mean, literally, we're actually because if you think about it, Varane's injured now, Luke Shaw's injured now, so you're literally down to Lindelof and Maguire. If Lindelof somehow or Lisandro, whatever one gets injury, we are back to Magaluf if that happens. And Harry Maguire, this is why he didn't leave, because it's like, I know my opportunity is going to come. There you go. Højlund is strong as an ox and got the pace of a puma. That dude will do something. I hope so, but I don't want to put the pressure on him. Lindelof is so underrated. He is. Yeah, West Ham about something against Bayern. Look at the difference. Well, this is what I'm saying. Is possession everything? Is possession everything? We talk about tactics, stats, all the rest of it and stuff like that. Cool. And everyone said to me, everyone told me that Brighton, De Zerbi's the GOAT. De Zerbi's awesome. De Zerbi's going to come clutch. De Zerbi's better than Ten Hag. Okay, cool. David Moyes went to Brighton and said, what's up? Also the importance of a number 9. So this is why I'm saying that it's important people don't be reactionary, because at the end of the day, like, there's still 35 games to be played at the end of the day, and you just don't know. You just don't know. My expectation for United's season has been simple: make Champions League and a decent cup run. That's it, because I don't think that we're anywhere near Manchester City, and we're going to be behind certain teams like Newcastle, Arsenal, etc. So if we can make CL and a decent run, that's fine as far as I'm concerned, and build. And hopefully the takeover will be done by then. That's it. We also had the most shots at us for 15 years. True. Thomas says, how is it that we essentially are playing the same team as last year, bar none? That's a good question. That is a good question. Arguably weaker because we don't have Fred. So, but there you go. West Ham bought Edson Alvarez, Edson Alvarez, Ward-Prowse, Konstantinos Mavropanos. Kudos for combined 120. They sold Rice for. There you go. And to be honest, I would have taken any of those players at United. I'm not gonna lie. Are you saying that? Are you saying that you wouldn't take Ward-Prowse? Yeah, I'd have taken Ward-Prowse, especially for his dead ball delivery. Kudos, yeah. Edison, yeah. All these, and obviously they sold They used the Rice money, so they've only basically their net spend is 10 mil. Yep. It was good to see Marshall play again. If you say so, he's not going to stay fit though. That's the problem. How many seasons have we had Bruno now? Him at his best is not enough for us. We need to move on and try somebody else. Someone with Russia's best not good enough. Unfortunately, as much as we can say that certain players not good enough, the reality is they're on a lot of high wages, high expensive contracts. And we can't shift them on, and we don't have the means to do so. Unfortunately. Look at the stats of the match. We actually dominated Force on chance. Yeah, no, exactly. That's why I put this. That's why I put the stats out there for those who say that overall we played poorly. We actually got better. The first goal was having Eriksen and Rashford Nancy in the rest of the defense. It was beyond stupid from Ten Hag. And later on, we say Dallo and we saw Dallo Martinez combine to get Lindelof in at a corner. I know what the defensive structure he's using. I'm not sure either, to be honest. Pauline is a great player. We don't have the players to invert wingers. Ten Hag needs to change style to suit the players that he has. I'm going to probably have to continue the show in a second because there's obviously so many comments. How is Anstey still getting chances? I don't know. I make a case that I don't know why he doesn't start Palestri. Why doesn't he start Palestri? And then I'm wondering if we demand too much. We want to play like City does. We are 2-3 from last season. We overachieved. I said this on my season review, guys. For me, there were people that were legit saying that we can challenge for the Premier League this season. I was like, no, this when you look at, I think because we got third and we got a trophy, I think people thought that we were a lot further than we actually are. When you actually look at the nature of the results, especially how we played away from home against the top 9. And how we were outplayed. We were outplayed at St. James's Park. We outplayed at Anfield, at the Etihad, at the Emirates, so many times, So, for a team to compete and get a title, at the very least, you have to consistently be outplaying most of your opponents. City outplay the vast. Aside from a few blips like Brighton maybe last season, and somehow Brentford, because Brentford beat City twice. Generally speaking, City outplay most of their opponents. Lukaku used to be Roma, but I agree. I would have loved to. I would have taken Lukaku on loan, man. I would have taken Lukaku on a loan, man. David T says we need to speak on. Yes, my boy. People have spoken a lot about Osimhen, but he's been out of spotlight since his move to Liverpool collapse. He's improved since Antonio Walker about keeper night. Yep, exactly, David T. Exactly. McTominay would fit this West Ham side so well. I'm not even joking. Alvarez would have done the defensive while he scores. Yeah, I actually think McTominay. This is the thing. I think McTominay and Maguire for West Ham sides for how Moyes plays. This is what I'm saying. They're not bad play. McTominay and even Maguire are not bad players. But if they play in a system that suits their strength, they're fine. McTominay in a West Ham team, even Maguire in a West Ham team, will ball. With the way that Moyes structures his team, of course they'll ball. Maguire will. So that's why, if Maguire wants to stay and basically loses England's centre back place, then so be it. But he could literally. I think even Moyes even offered him the captaincy. Come here, do whatever. But United, there was an agreement, and I don't know what happened. So it is what it is. But anyway, let's continue with the show. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm just happy that we got the 3 points. I'm happy we got the 3 points. We move. Simple as that, really. Okay. Let's just obviously we've gone through the stats. So obviously vote in the poll who your man of the match was and subscribe. Let's go into the player ratings actually. So which is going to be an interesting one. And obviously let me know, guys, who you think the man of the match is. So let's go. Okay. So Onana. What do you do? What do you give Onana? I think you give Onana a I don't fault him for the first 2 goals. I know people saw that he got sat down, etc., and so on. So, but for me, I don't really blame him for those 2 goals. Oh yeah, Cucurella rumors. Apparently, it's one of many. I assume Cucurella and Bertrand are the other. I don't know who the third one is. Anyway, yeah, for me, Onana, I say I'll give him a 6. I'll give Onana a 6. I think a 6 out of 10. I think is also. Like I said, I don't blame him for 2 of the 2 goals per se. He did make 1 or 2 key saves as well. But yeah, an average 6 I think is fine. Wan-Bissaka for me gets a 7. Again, I think defensively, and the thing is, I know a lot of people keep criticizing, saying that Wan-Bissaka is not good going forward. But there were a few times today where he delivered, because we keep on saying this, but I have noticed that Wan-Bissaka on Ten Hag has gotten better going forward. Okay, he has gone better going forward. But when he actually crosses the ball into the box, a lot of the time, no one is there. No one's anticipating the cross. So yes, I do think that our fullbacks need to do more. But sometimes when it's right, okay, they've crossed the ball in, they've gone up, etc. I'm like, who's actually there? Who's anticipating it? It reminds me when Cavani was at Manchester United, like arguably one of what I would say one of our best number 9s in the world. By that I mean, I don't mean goal scorers like say Ronaldo. I mean in terms of his movement, his anticipation, where he would that's what I mean when I think about a number 9. Haaland does this as well. It's it's not just about scoring goals. It's anticipation. It's movement. It's knowing he's going to cross it into here. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to get there. And we don't have players even as much as I like Martial when he's fit, he doesn't have that instinct about him, and we need a striker who has that striker's instinct, at least that's what I think. The Mad in the Mud will cook these fullbacks. No. I think Mudryk, I mean you say that. They didn't. You keep on saying they're going to cook them. They played against them at Old Trafford last season. They played against them at Old Trafford last season. The Madueke and Mudryk, if I recall, the Mud, and they got cooked badly. So yeah, I won't go that far. Varane, obviously Varane came up injured in the first half. I don't, yeah, 6.5, I think, for Varane. 6.5, I think. Again, I do. Obviously, the centre backs, defense were contributed to that first goal. What was going on, I've got no idea. But after that, I think we're fairly tight. I think we're fairly tight after that. So I give him I give 6.5 seems to be 6. I'll give him a 6. Martinez, and also it's a bit difficult because Varane sort of came off injured, so maybe it's unfair to give him a rating actually. So I'll just give him an average 6 because he came off. Martinez, he still doesn't look fit to me. Martinez still doesn't look fit to me. I'm still a bit worried. He doesn't look fit to me, guys. 5.5. Like, okay, but yeah, he just doesn't look fit to me. Dallo, so I would give Martinez a 5.5. Dallo, I love this quote. I didn't actually watch the game. It came on at 6 a.m. I didn't want to see us lose. Waste sleep, so I chose to sleep. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Dallo, I think, again, there's no other choice really right now. I mean, you could put obviously Alvaro Fernandez there, but Ten Hag chooses to put Dallo there. So he's a makeshift left back at this point. So I don't want to go really too hard on Dallo because he's not playing his right position. So for me, I'll give Dallo a 6. I don't think he was awful. But at the end of the day, he's not playing in his correct position. It is what it is. Again, let me know what your thoughts are in the chat. Who's next? Casemiro and Eriksen. So all it's so funny. It's so funny how like all of our midfield scored a goal today. Our attackers didn't. Anthony Masharashu, but all our midfielders, Casemiro scored, Fernandes scored, Eriksen scored. There you go. So we still need to get something from our attacking. We're still need to get something from our attacking players, right? So, but no, shout out to Casemiro. I think yes. Again, getting overrun still. But there was some good work from to actually get the goal back. That was a nice training ground routine there. And I think, yeah, I think that we I think much like Eriksen, I think our midfield in general, like as the game went on, they improved, So I think that I'll give Casemiro 6.5. I think I'll give Eriksen likewise, I think an 6.5 as well. And I think I'll give Bruno a 7. I think that as the captain of Manchester United, I think again, second half he played a lot better. He played a lot better. This has been, in my own, Bruno's best game for Manchester United. And obviously to take the penalty, win the penalty and score. Clutch, So for me, Bruno's a 7 with Casemiro and Eriksen being a 6.5. Maybe I'm being a bit too harsh because there's still an element of me that's like, why do we make this difficult for ourselves? And we still were not convincing. But no one's getting below a 5 here, so it's Anthony. Anthony, man. I'll give Anthony a 5. I don't want to be too harsh with Anthony, and I don't know why Ten Hag, respect this boy, but I think that if he's going to persist with Anthony and Mount, I think we might have problems. But definitely Anthony, man. I mean, there is better. There is better out there. Not even better. There's better on the bench. Like, give Sancho a go. You can even try. You can even play Palestri, who I think is better. I don't know. I just think I worry about Anthony because what is it with Manchester United and Brazilians, guys? Like, why can't we sign a Brazilian player that like ends up being world class? Why do they all have to be bang average? I don't understand it, So, yes, I mean he's got tricks and stuff like that. Cool, I like that. So, to be fair, he had that one chance that he took it on his left foot and it almost kind of went in. So fair enough, but yeah, Anthony was again poor today. Does introducing Hoyland come in and make a difference? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't think so. But for me, I mean, I'll just scroll to the bench here. You have you got Sancho here on the bench. You got Palestra on the bench. Obviously, Garnacho as well. None of whom came on. Palestra didn't come on. Garnacho didn't come on. It was Lindelof, Sancho, and Scott McTominay. Palestri for me, but I know Ten Hag with the 3-2, and that's something that I've noticed as well. It's becoming a results competition where, and this happened again against Wolves, where you're 1-0 free, you've got 10 minutes to go, etc., and he goes defensive. Again, is it any different to how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was? How any of the players were? I don't know. I do not know. I do not know. Ooh, just give me 2 seconds, guys. 1 second. I need to actually just put my battery charger in. 1 second, guys. Oh, otherwise, the stream will cancel midway. There we go. We're back. Sorry about that. I actually charged it before, so I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it wasn't fully charged. But anyway, it's fine. So yeah, Anthony is on Fraud Watch right now. We probably need to make a United Brick Academy for the players that generally could be on Fraud Watch, actually. Where are we? Back here. Rashford. Rashford, he did get, because Rashford got the assist for the first goal, and I think he got the assist for the second goal as well, actually, didn't he? He is better coming from the left, even though, like I said, as Bath Time said, he was actually playing a bit more central in the second half. I'll give, yeah. I still think we still haven't seen the best out of Rashford recently. But yeah, no, I'll give Rashford a 6.5, man. I'll give Rashford a 6.5. I'll give him a 6.5. Finally, Martial. Martial. We do play better with Martial. Again, it's a graveyard shift with these players because we don't create enough chances for our four players. We just don't, which isn't really ideal. But we play better with him in the team, as far as I'm concerned. So I'd say I'll give Martial a 6. I think I'll give Martial a 6. Let me see what you guys are saying. In the chat, and then we'll begin to round up. Well, in fact, actually, let me just, if anyone wants to come on and have their say about the game, I'm just posting the StreamYard link. So for those who obviously want to come on and have their say about the game, the link is in, and I will just take your thoughts and calls for the last probably 10-15 minutes. Let's see. Kweku says Sancho needs to start. David T says Anthony should be sold on the black market for 1 scoop of sugar. Dave says, I saw his dribbling and finishing die in real time. To show you how bad things are, I always reference what he does defensively as his only good traits. Yeah, I don't know what's happened to him. Like his dribbling, his fingers, it's all gone. He's regressed. It's just weird. It's like, but you were playing under Ten Hag. I mean, I know obviously you had support at Ajax, but it's weird just to see players that Ten Hag had at his disposal at Ajax, like Van der Beek, like Anthony, even maybe Lisandro, that they regressed, basically. You think that you wanted those players that you work with from Ajax to do their thing, and yet, they've regressed, King Stash, big up King Stash, man. Regular supporter channel, really appreciate it, buddy. Anthony has had Anthony had some good moments when he switched wings for a bit during the game. That is true. That is true. Like I said, I don't think he's like, especially when you consider that Chelsea spent 100 million on the Ukrainian flop right now. It could be a lot worse. Let's put it that way. It's just how do you? I think the thing with Anthony is that it's one thing if we persevere with him if there weren't options. I think the issue is that you've got Sancho, you've got Palestri, you've got people that can compete with Anthony for his position, and you're choosing to start him for 65, 70 plus minutes and not give the likes of Palestri or even Sancho a chance. That's the issue in my mind. I'm not saying Sancho is world class or Palestri is world class, but it's just that it's the same thing with Oli, where you have these certain favorites where you keep on playing this player, Maguire in the case of Oli Gunnar Solskjaer, others, and it's like, well, no matter what they do, you just keep on playing them as if to try and play them into form, which is fine if, again, you don't have other options on the bench, because then that creates issues in the dressing room, which are very, very difficult to get out from. It was like after he was called out for his fidget spins by English Pond, I don't understand. He cut out his exactly. I don't get that exactly. Maybe Ten Hag said it to him. I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the most important thing from this is that Manchester United won the game. Manchester United won the game. We got the 3 points. We now need to go to Arsenal and try somehow to get a result. What that result is, I still have no idea, but we need to get a result from Arsenal. Whether we will or not remains to be seen, because I'm still worried that with the manner in which we create those goals, we could be in serious trouble, but it is what it is. King says, I'm not defending Anthony, but today he played well. He could have had 4 assists. He creates the most chances today, and could have scored 2 goals. Dribbled a few times. That neck ball. I mean, I don't want to disagree. He wasn't crap, but I just think, is it the price tag? Is it the pattern of play? Is it the fact that it feels like he's quite ineffective for long periods of the game? I don't know. I do think that he needs to play better, and I think as I've seen him play better for Manchester United last season. But we'll see what happens. Maybe I'm just being overly critical because he's just not been playing well for a while now. But we'll see what happens. Anthony didn't actually make a single tackle. That's not good. And is it not plausible that Eric doesn't want to use Sancho? It is plausible. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, he has a particular way and style of playing, and that's fair enough. But yeah, I honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Matthew, I don't know. Because I just think that we get more from Palestri and Sancho. Well, I mean, at one point, Sancho and Ansu were basically the same in terms of their effectiveness. But I just think that we get more from them currently anyway. But like I said, we will see what happens. And as King Sash rightly said, Anthony defensively is actually better than Sancho. That might be one of the reasons why Sancho. Palestri, I think, is okay. Maybe he's just young experience. But what I would say in defense of Anthony is that defensively, he's far better than Sancho. Sancho doesn't track back at all. And defensively, has cost us, in that sense, has cost us quite a few times. So, if you're not great offensively, at least do your defensive job. But when at times Sancho last season, when he was poor offensively and he was poor defensively, it just wasn't good. It wasn't good. Eric did, yeah, of course. So I understand it. He's gonna start his signings over anyone else. So you expect Onana, you expect Lisandro, you expect Mount, and you expect Højlund, and you expect Anthony to all start. Malacia seems to be a kind of maybe it's because it's a youth development, so Luke Shaw's there, but if Malacia is still, I think, a few weeks away though, so I would suspect that when Malacia will be back before Luke Shaw anyway. So I expect when Malacia comes back that he will he will probably go in ahead as a starting left back over whoever comes in. Even though I feel like we should be giving Alvaro a chance, or the very least, you're gonna have to sign a new left back. But it is what it is. But yeah, but fundamentally, guys, I am happy with I was happy overall, having reflected on the performance. Like, I think that we played. We definitely improved. Sorry, compared to the last two games, and maybe that's it. That's why maybe I don't want to be too reactionary. Is that maybe that is it? Is that, like typical Manchester United, like how we can see the 2 goals being in the first half. United are starting the season slowly, somewhat poorly again, but will hopefully grow and grow the confidence, especially when players are given. Because, in fairness, I know it's not completely on Ten Hag, but I would like to see us play our strongest 11. I would like us to see Højlund at number 9. I want to see Kobe Mainu playing alongside Casemiro, and then Bruno in the side. I don't know whether he would still play Mount. Who knows? I don't know when Mainu. Hopefully, Mainu's back soon. Hopefully, Mainu is back soon. I don't know when. Can someone tell me when Mainu's going to be back? Hopefully, Kobe Mainu is going to be back soon, because I'm picking up that stupid injury in pre-season. I don't know what Casemiro is doing there, but I'm hoping is he back? I don't know. I don't know when he's going to be back. So September. I don't know. He'll be back stronger, but I don't know. But anyway, I hope he comes back. I really hope he comes back. Because then suddenly, when you're now playing Casemiro, Kobe, Bruno, Højlund, Rashford, and then maybe Anthony Sancho. Plus, I with the defense, with Lisandro and Varane. Suddenly, I think that we've got a team that can do something. A more balanced midfield, a post and attack, and a solid defense. Then suddenly it's like, let's see what happens. Let's just look at final comments before we bounce. I'm happy with the character and resilience shown by the team today to come. Yeah, exactly. I'm happy with that as well. At the end of the day, we can't. Like any manager, what happens is because we saw this on Oli as well. To be fair, so I'm not going to be completely like, oh yeah, the team and we did this. This is because we saw this on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And the concern is obviously when that resilience goes away. That's when I get concerned, because then you're like, oh, we're going to come back, and then we're not coming back anymore, and we're just getting spanked by the Watfords, etc. And that was my worry. As long as we're not getting spanked by bottom 10 teams like we were. Remember I think that got Ali sacked when we got 4-1 against Watford. It was awful. We were bad. So long as we're not getting spanked by bottom 10 teams in terms of losing that way, we should be fine. But when that starts to happen, then that's when things need to be concerned. We need to be concerned. Sancho didn't look good today, not gonna lie. Didn't create much, couldn't really hold the ball, lost most of his duels when he came on. Marshall in the false 9 made Rashford play well. Rashford actually looked up when he does that for once. Is a Ballon d'Or Rashford making a turn? Hopefully. Or free, exactly. But our strikers didn't, So again, will that improve under Højlund? Who knows? Because right now, like when you look at the goals, what was it? We scored obviously 1 goal. Varane scored a goal against Wolves. Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno scored their goals. So none of our attackers have a goal yet. Hopefully, I'm hoping that as soon as Marcus Rashford gets a goal, he can start to click on. But we'll see. And final comment from Rob. Hi, we were a bit lucky today, but we got the win. Do you think it would be better playing a left-footed wing on the left and right-footed wing to whip the ball in? I don't think that we can try it. We can try it. But I don't. Our attack was okay today. Our attack was okay today. So. Oh, we created the chances. So compared to Wolves, we were better. With all respect to Forest, we can't allow them. This is Ten Hag, is it, in the post match? We can't allow those goals. They were easy giveaways. It's crazy, but sometimes games go like this. Erik Ten Hag did mention this in the post match interview. Yeah, it's well, but we conceded them at the end of the day. Rob not gonna. I took us forward to. I like how they interchange at one point. Marshall's on left. Exactly. Yeah, having an interchangeable front three is definitely something that I'm a fan of at Manchester United, but. We know we just need our attackers to start being clinical now, but it is what it is. Will Højlund be available for our next match? It looks like, I mean, he was in training with the first team before. He wasn't quite ready to make the game against Forest. So I suspect that he'll be available on the bench against Arsenal. That's what I think. He'll have at least 2 training sessions this coming week. So I don't think he'll start against Arsenal, but I think he'll be on the bench against Arsenal. And then we'll see him against at home to Brighton. Hopefully that will make a difference, because for me these next 2 games are more about where Manchester United are, because if we can somehow get a result from these 2 games, a draw at the Emirates, a win against Brighton at home, then that will make me more confident going into the season, because I know that we're adding to this squad with the injuries and stuff that come out. Luke Shaw's going to come back, Kobe's going to come back, people are going to come back, the set, that was with that training ground stuff, but it was great. It was great. Right, gonna round up, guys. Thank you so much for those who tuned in. Really appreciate it. Remember, if you're new to the channel, to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, We Are United X, and smash the notification button. Face Manchester United news and more. Members Hangout. Remember, guys, members Hangout from 10 p.m. BST tomorrow night. So for those of you who are a member, we will be talking about everything. Debriefing the Manchester United game again, as well as looking at a lot of the Premier League results and more, as well as any other big news that's coming in. So the members hangout will be live. Consider becoming a member if you're not already, to support the channel as well. We've got merch as well if you want to purchase that as well. But as always, give a like because that's free. Have a nice day, everyone. And cheers. Peace.